Hello, welcome to Trust Me, Bro. I'm Mark. This is Craig.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good, doing good.
Good. Good to hear.
Good weekend of football, brother.
Yes, sir. So, how'd it work out for you this weekend?
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good. Ended up 3-1.
3-1. All
Yeah,
right, man. That's
Mahomes pulled it off
fantastic.
for me. Had one of those squeakers that I needed Carson not to kick that last game-winning field goal. So,
Yep, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah, they didn't even get in position. I thought that they were kind of robbed on that catch. They called a non-catch to Devontae Adams. It looked like he had possession of the ball, had 2 feet down. I don't understand why they got robbed there. And
hey,
then
tell you what, man.
there's yeah.
As a as someone that needed to not have another 50-yard field goal against him,
Yep.
perfectly
Yeah.
fine with that
So,
call.
yeah, for sure, man. You were overjoyed. And then them not kicking the extra point to tie it up at 30-30 was a bizarre decision for sure.
Yeah,
And so I think that ended up costing them the game right there. Just
yeah,
those two things that did not quite work out. So,
yeah.
yep. Well,
Cool.
yeah, my weekend was a weekend of woe and grief. I went 0-4 in all my fantasy leagues this week, so didn't quite work
Ah,
out for me. Even
yeah,
with Gabe Davis, lighting it up on one of my fantasy squads, the rest of the players just gave me, fours and threes and whatever here
yeah.
and there. So just
It was
not
definitely a hit or miss weekend, man.
yeah, and then
On the
my other
two of them.
players, are decent players too, like Christian Kirk. He just hasn't been delivering these past couple of weeks. Having a guy like Carr as a quarterback is just not a good idea.
Yeah,
The guy can't break 17 points, and so yeah, just you know. I even have Waller on that team, and luckily I had him on the bench and played Kittle instead. So,
yeah. There you go.
but neither of them were very impressive either this week. So,
Yep.
my season's going so far.
Well, hey, man, that's why we're here. Let's work that waiver wire, get back on track.
You got it, my man. All right.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and go first with my first running back.
Cool.
His name is Kenneth Walker III. He
Okay.
plays for the Seattle Seahawks. Right now, he's 48% owned. So just under our 50% threshold. This past Sunday, he had 8 carries for 88 yards. Great efficiency there, 11 yards a carry, plus a
Yep.
tutty. The reason why I wrote down Kenneth Walker is because Penny hurt his ankle and he is out for the season. And so it's looking like it's going to be the Kenneth Walker show in Seattle. They drafted him as a bell cow, to eventually take over their backfield, and it looks like that day has come, sooner than later. So here we are. I actually have a tale of woe and grief with Kenneth Walker. I had him on my work league, and I had Penny, of course, and I had Kenneth Walker as my handcuff. And so I was looking for a player to drop, and be able to provide myself with an insurance policy for Juju Smith-Schuster, because Juju's status, going into the weekend with him playing on a Monday night was kind of up in the air. And so I ended up picking up Scantling, Marquez Valdez Skankling, and dropping Kenneth Walker. And so that to me was a terrible decision, because here I am, without my, the golden ticket in this next, waiver wire. And I actually have first pick in this Yahoo league. And so I should be able to get him back up. However, Yahoo has this rule where if you drop somebody, you're not allowed to pick them back up until they clear waivers, until everyone else has a chance to pick them up. And so here I am, with the number one pick, ready to pick him back up, but I can't. It won't let me. So it's a
Yeah.
dumb rule. I mean, that's Yahoo for you, right?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's who I had for my number one as well. I mean, obviously with Penny going out for the season with a broken
Mm-hmm.
fibula, Kenneth Walker's next in line.
Yep.
I think he'll be a good one. Let me just go ahead and just jump to number two then.
Uh-huh.
Since we just talked about Kenneth Walker, I think he's a great pickup. He's one that's going to pay off throughout the year. So he's a good one. Next up is Benjamin. Been talking about him for last 2 or 3
Yep.
weeks. Connor went down again.
Yeah, you're
Rib
right. Connor
injury.
got hurt.
Yeah, so he's out with a rib injury. If we see him next week, he'll probably be limited, or at least on snap count.
Right.
Looks good, man. Looks good. I think he's got some good moves. He's on 7% or less than in most leagues. 8 touches for 25 yards and a tutty, and I do like the passing volume as well. 3 catches for 28 yards. So,
yep.
I think he's one to go after.
No, I agree with you. I know that you've been on him for a couple of weeks now, and I think that with this opportunity with Connor going down, and I think their other running back, their second string running back also went out with an injury. I don't know how severe his injury is, but this could be the Benjamin show, at least for this next week. And so yeah, you're right. It's a solid waiver wire pickup. I was gonna write him down. That would have been my number 2 as well, but I didn't get a chance to go back and look at his stats. So thank you for bringing him up. I actually don't have any more running backs. So if you have any more running backs, take it away.
Yeah. The only other one I got to recycle from your pick last week was Mike Boone.
Mm-hmm. Mike Boone. Yep.
Yeah. So with not Jamal Williams,
Jamal Charles, or not Jamal Charles. Yeah. Yeah,
blast from the past right there.
Right,
Javonte Williams, right? Yeah. With him being out, he's out for an extended period of time here, and I like the looks of Mike Boone, man. I think he was pretty good and pretty productive in the passing game, and what he ended up with 7 for 38, and then 3 for 47 in the passing game. So,
right,
he looks like a nice little running back that could fill in, get you some points. I mean, he's probably. I don't know if he's going to be one of those guys who's going to get you 25 points, but if he gets you, 10 to 15, it's better than most of the guys out there this week.
Right.
Know?
Yeah. So, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, and Melvin Gordon, he looks kind of stuck in the mud, I think Father Time's catching up with him. So who knows? I mean, he could bust out, break his ankle or, hurt his ACL or, MCL, any week now. So he's a good one to have.
I just get the feeling that the Broncos just don't like him.
Right.
You know?
I know.
I just don't think they like him. And
he fumbles a lot too.
I've said that about Jared Cook for years when he was playing, that there's just something about him. Maybe he's falling asleep in the meetings or showing up late. I don't know what it is, but I just don't think they like him. So I do like Mike Boone moving forward.
Right. No, I agree. I think he'd be a good one to pick up, and maybe not play him right now, but unless you're in a pinch, we got bye weeks coming up. So I think that this week actually it's the first week for buys. So he could fill a void right there and tote the rock for a bit. Yeah. All right. So is that it for running backs?
That's it.
Okay. I'll go ahead with the wide receivers, unless you want to just lead off with this one.
No, go ahead. Good. Get it started.
Okay, so I wrote down Dyami Brown. I don't even think I'm pronouncing that name right, but he plays for the Commanders, less than 1% owned. He had just 4 targets, but he caught 2 of them for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. And it seems like, and I know Carson Wentz was set up for a pretty good game, playing, I think it was it the Panthers that they were playing? I forget. But, he was set up for a pretty good game.
Yeah.
And he capitalized. And it's looking like this year, that Carson Wentz just kind of finds, what I consider these no-name players and turns them, into fantasy relevant wide receivers. It really hasn't been the Scary Terry show this year as it has been in years past. He's been able to get production out of, just seemingly random guys. And so with that type of production, I think he's definitely someone to keep an eye on. Whether or not you, ended up picking him up off the waiver wire this particular week, at least put him on your watch list and see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I had him on my list too. I have a watch next to him. He definitely reeks of one of those guys that goes off for 1 week and then you don't hear his name again for the next, 15 weeks or whatever.
Right.
But I think he's a good one. Let's just put him. I probably wouldn't use a waiver wire pick on him, but I think I probably would look Wednesday morning and see if he's out there. If I've
leftovers,
got that I could throw him on. Let's put him on the bench and let's just see.
Right.
He's somebody that still needs to prove, but he was making some one-handed grabs. He was making some. Those 2 catches were fantastic catches.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
and that's why I wrote him down. He passed the eye test. You know what I mean? He looked good, and he had those skills, I mean, he looked, really solid. So
yeah.
that's the only reason why I wrote him down.
Yeah, and I've been riding that Curtis Samuel train for a while, and I mean he's good
Yep.
for 4, 5, 6 catches a game, maybe 40, 40, 50 yards, something like that. Might cross that end zone, but this guy crossed the end zone, made some great catches, so it's somebody to look out for, I think, but maybe not somebody that you want to go spend your waiver wire pick on.
Right. Yeah, exactly. For leftovers, for sure. After it makes the rounds and he's still sitting there, you don't have to, waste a waiver wire pick. Yeah, pick him up.
Yep. I agree.
All right. So hit me with your first wide receiver, Craig.
Yeah. So one that's sticking out to me, and over the last couple games, I think Green Bay is still looking for that receiver. I think Aaron Rodgers is still trying to find that receiver that he can trust and he can go to. Randall Cobb really did show up this week.
He did.
With 7 grabs, 99 yards. He looks like somebody that Aaron Rodgers is looking for to trust.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we trust him.
We've been talking about Dobbs for a while. We've been talking about, Christian Kirk pulled a hamstring. Or not Christian Kirk, excuse me, Christian Watson pulled a hamstring.
Watson, right.
So you're still looking for that number one wide receiver. I don't think Randall Cobb's number one there. I really don't.
No.
But I do feel like he's a workhorse guy that probably can get you 6 grabs for 50-plus yards every game.
Yeah.
Which is something I'd take. I would take it over, some of the lack of production I've had in my wide receiver core this week. So,
right. Yeah, that's double-digit points, so it would work, in a flex spot or whatnot. Yep. So, yeah. Okay, very good. My next pick is an oldie but goodie, Marvin Jones from the Jags. 30% owned. What got my attention, Craig, was that he was targeted 11 times in this game, and he caught 7 of them for 104 yards. And so it seems to be kind of like whack-a-mole with the Jaguars on a week in, week out basis. You don't know which one's going to pop up. So we've seen Kirk do it. We saw some no name, I can't remember their name, do it last week. And
he's there. He's showed up a few times.
Zay Jones, he did it the week before last, and then last week it was somebody named Agnew. I don't know. I have no idea who he is. I think he came from the practice squad. I think he normally plays special teams, but he lit it up last week, and then this week it was Marvin Jones' turn. Yeah. So I mean, if you're able to pick up one of these Jaguars wide receivers and guess which one is going to go off that week, then there you go. He'd be a good one. But, I've seen Marvin Jones produce over the years. I believe he played in Detroit for a while. And so he's a reliable receiver. I think if he ends up, finding his way in Jacksonville and getting 11 targets, on a consistent basis, he's a heck of a find.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a bad one, man. I don't think you can go wrong there. It's just, look at your matchups. If you feel like Christian Kirk's going to be covered up pretty well, number one cornerback, I think Marvin Jones is a good number 2 right there.
For sure. Yeah. Matchup-based play.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, who you got?
Yeah, let me hit you with a quick one. And I didn't do a whole lot of research on this guy, but and then I got my actual pick here.
Okay.
So Michael Gallup, you got to watch out for that guy. I don't know what he's owned in leagues, but he's starting to come on. I even feel like when Dak gets back, his production is going to go up. So
yeah, I agree.
Watch out for Gallup. But another one I had just kind of on the watch list is Alec Pierce. For the Colts, he was 8.6% owned in leagues, 8 for 81. He had 6 targets the week prior. So he's getting his looks. I don't like Matt Ryan.
No, I don't either.
I don't like the Colts offense. I don't like anything that they're doing there. I've got Pittman going in one league, but Alec Pierce has outscored Pittman in the last couple of weeks too. So
he looks good. He's from UC, right? University of Cincinnati.
Sure. Yeah, I couldn't tell you where he's from, but the guy's getting some targets. He's getting some looks. He's making the most of them. So. This is probably one, again, I wouldn't spend a waiver wire pick on. I think I'd look out for him Wednesday morning. And if you got a spot on your bench that, may make sense to grab somebody where you got some upside hope for. He might be a good one.
No, I like it. Yeah, I've heard a lot of buzz about Alec Pierce, over these past, day or two. I think he's definitely going to be a hot name on the waiver wire this week.
Yeah,
so yeah,
I think so. I mean, look, maybe you let one of the suckers grab him and, use a waiver wire pick, get out of your way, let you go get somebody else like Kenneth Walker or Benjamin, something like that. But
yeah,
if he's still sitting there on Wednesday morning, I would take a swing at him.
Right, that's a good fantasy leftover to keep on your list, on your watch list, and have it ready to roll when you wake up Wednesday morning and before everyone else eats breakfast.
Yep.
That's a good time to grab people, right?
Exactly.
With your first cup of coffee.
First cup of coffee guy right there for sure.
Yep. All right. Very good. Okay. My next wide receiver for the show today is Josh Reynolds. I think we've talked about him in weeks past, but he's still only 24% owned, plays for the Lions. This past weekend, he even in a terrible game against New England when the Lions couldn't even score any points, he did see 10 targets, caught 6 of them for 92 yards.
Yeah.
And so he's doing well. I like, he's been consistent and he's getting the targets. And so that's what we look for here in fantasy football. We're looking for who's getting the targets on a consistent basis. And so that's what eventually equates to fantasy points.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I mean, so they have St. Brown, who's solid. He was on a pitch count this weekend. It showed the numbers for sure. Next week, I feel like St. Brown's going to be a lot more healthy and ready to go.
Right.
Still have Hawkinson there. He didn't do much crap this week.
No.
So, I mean, he's a solid number 2. Who else do they have there? DJ Chark or somebody like that?
He's not working out. Yeah.
Not working out, man. I'm just not seeing the targets, not seeing the numbers, not seeing anything out of them. So I think they're looking for a good number 2, and Josh Reynolds might just be that guy.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, it's definitely the St. Brown show there in Detroit, but it's looking like Josh Reynolds has emerged, like you said, as a solid number 2 on that team.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, very good. Do you have any other wide receivers?
No, that's it.
Okay. Go ahead and hit me with your tight end if you got one.
So I've got 2. Got 2. So this one I feel like is a solid one, and this is where I've struggled all year too, man. My tight ends, I've got more bagels for my tight ends this year than I would like to.
Einstein Brothers bagels.
Yeah, that's what I should rename my team, man. Einstein.
Right.
Buy one, get one free freaking bagels, man. That's the way my freaking team has been. It's been unreal. Every time I think I've got a good one, they no-show me, Yeah. So one guy that has not been no-showing is Hayden Hurst for the Bengals.
Yep.
25% owned, 6 for 53, 1 tutty. Last 2 weeks been double digits.
Nice.
The guy's getting his looks, he's getting his targets. You've had some influx. Higgins is one of those guys that got me a bagel this week. Luckily, in a week, a team that I played, they got a bagel from Higgins, which helped me get a win. So,
right,
that was good. But Hayden Hurst has been showing up, man. I like him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's a good fit in that offense. I know that last year Burrow used to look for Uzama a lot. If I'm pronouncing that last name correctly, I think he's with the Jets now, but or maybe not. I forget where he went, but. Burrow likes to look for the tight end, and so I could see him getting a touchdown, maybe not every week, but probably every other week. So he's pretty consistent in that regard, and he's a good safety valve. When Chase is double teamed, and like you said, Higgins, I believe he got a little banged up in that game, so there's a chance he may not play this next week. So that could mean some more looks for Tyler Boyd and for Hurst, right?
Yep.
So I agree. Good pick. All right. Well, I'm going to recycle the tight end that I wrote down. We talked about this tight end in an earlier broadcast, but I'm going back to Taysom Hill on this one.
Yeah.
He does play for the Saints. He's only 11% owned. And so I know that he did have a good game earlier this season. I believe it was week 1. And so it caught a lot of people's attention. Weeks 2 through 2 through 4, didn't do much of anything. And here he was in week 5, blowing up. Had 9 rushes for 112 yards, along with 3 touchdowns. Plus, he passed for a touchdown. And so, 4 touchdowns, north of 100 yards from a, what's classified as a tight end. It, to me, again, we've talked about this before, but it's a cheat code. I could see myself picking him up. I've got a squad that has the guy from the Chargers. We had talked about him a little bit earlier on this show. Yeah, with Everett. So I've got Gerald Everett. Very disappointing this past week. I think he got less than 5 points. Let's put it that way. So I feel like I just can't count on him. I felt like I could count on him weeks 1 through 3. These past 2 weeks have been very disappointing. Yeah. If I feel like if I can't get at least 10 points, double-digit points out of my tight end, then I'm looking. I'm shopping. So that's where I am. I'm back to shopping. I've also got Schultz on that team. He's put up, he should be doing Einstein Brothers commercials himself. He put up 2 bagels 2 weeks in a row, and he was on the field. So it's not like he was, hurt, and he was hurt, I think, the week before that. So 2 bagels in a row. I mean, that's bench material right there until Dak comes back. So I just can't play him. I'm just going to let him sit there on the bench and just hope for better days when Dak comes back. Yeah. But I'm definitely a buyer when it comes to Taysom Hill. I'd rather play him than those 2 guys I just mentioned.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't know if Dalton Schultz hit on Cooper Rush's wife or what, but he's just not
right. Yeah.
It's been a ghost show since he's been on the field with Cooper Rush, so
no love whatsoever.
He's definitely found a spot on my bench. You might find a spot on the waiver wire.
I know, right? I'm seriously think I'm close. I'm real close to pulling that trigger and just dropping him. But the only thing keeping him in my squad is knowing the Dak's going to come back. That's the only reason.
Yeah, same here. So I had Taysom Hill too. Like you mentioned, he's listed as a tight end. Dude, I wish they would classify. I wish he kicked the extra points or something like that. And he could be listed as a kicker. I'd love to put him in my kicker spot.
A kicker that throws touchdowns and rushes for 112 yards.
Exactly. Yeah. Why not?
Like it. Right.
But yeah, that dude just went off. I mean, it's tough to pick the week that he's going to go off, but man,
it is. But if I'm getting bagels, or under 5, from the other 2 options on my team, I'll play him as a lottery ticket, and just hope I cash. I'll take it.
Dude, he had 45 points on the waiver wire this week. Nobody had him.
Yeah. 11% got him. So 89% of the fantasy players out there, have them out there on the waiver wire. So not other teams.
Tomorrow morning, look at that 45 points and figure out what waiver pick on him.
Yeah. He'll be a popular ad, I believe, this week. I bet you it'll go from 11 to somewhere in the 40s. I think.
Yeah.
So
I think so, brother. Well, that's all I've got for tight ends too.
Yeah, me too. So hit me with a QB if you got any.
Hey man, this is gonna be week 3 in a row. I just went back and looked. Week 3 in a row, we got Geno Smith hanging out.
Geno Smith, all right, nice.
I went with him. Like he played against New Orleans this week. Who's he had this week coming up?
Yeah. He just finished New Orleans,
and still threw 3 tutties, 268 yards. Some of those balls were on the money. I love when he steps up and steps up in the pocket and throws the ball. He's delivering strikes, man. He's delivering some good balls. Man.
Right,
great ball to DK Metcalf. Great ball to
Lockett.
Tyler Lockett.
Oh yeah,
in the end zone. Mm-hmm. So he's putting them up, man. I think he's got a good run. He's got Arizona coming up, which you can put up some points. You got the Chargers coming up, you can put up some points on them. Giants, like Arizona again. So week 10 with Tampa Bay, that's the next toughest opponent. So I feel like Geno Smith might be a good one to ride with for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, in the league where I've got Derek Carr, I'm going to go hunting for Geno Smith. And, if he's out there, I'm going to pull the trigger on it. Yeah. I also had Geno Smith written down, 32% owned, 268 yards throwing, 3 rushes for 13 yards and 3 tutties. Yeah, that's a solid production. That's a good game right there.
Yeah. You know what? The league I've got Aaron Rodgers in, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go looking for Geno Smith.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, he's very good. He's setting it up on fire. You know, he's. I think that Pete Carroll must have known something, you know, about the way that Russ has been playing. Because I mean, look how he's doing in Denver, and it's not looking good for him out there.
No.
They couldn't even score a touchdown on the last Thursday night game. I actually fell asleep during that game. I honestly made it till about 2 minutes before the halftime, and I woke up in the morning, and the game was over. Luckily, I woke up to 14 points in my lineup from the Denver defense, but that was the only good thing about that game, right?
Yeah, I played Denver too, man. That's where I've been hitting, dude. I've been hitting my defenses this year.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you've been. Yeah, that's great.
I've been hitting on those. My streaming defenses, dude. I've been hitting those, but yeah, man. I think Geno's the guy. You know, if you want to lock in 16 points with Aaron Rodgers, be my guest. You know, but Geno, I think's got that upside to get you up in the 30s.
Yeah, I like it. And so, you know, I know that you and I both like to stream defenses, and so.
Yeah.
You know, in years past, it used to be, you know, you would target the Jets or the Jacksonville Jaguars, you know, as, you know, easy layups. You know, you just grab any defense that's playing those two teams. So who are some targets this year that you think are easy targets, you know, some, you know, offenses per se, you know, that we could target, you know, for streaming?
Yeah.
Carolina or.
Yeah, Carolina's definitely one, man. I mean, especially with them firing Matt Rule. Baker's out. You know, so they'll be starting back up.
PJ Walker, I think they'll be starting him. He was an XFL star. He looked really good in the XFL, but this is not the XFL.
Big jump, man. Big jump. So
for sure.
I think against Panthers for sure. Still against the Jets. You know, who else am I looking at? I mean, right now against New Orleans, you know, like their offense is pretty anemic.
Sometimes New England. I've seen the defenses do well against New England.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for the Lions this week, though. You know, so
Lions defense kind of sucks. You know, so I didn't go against them. But I picked the Lions with some points this week and lost that one. So didn't really see that one coming. But you know, other than that, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I feel like the ones I'm really hitting with is the ones that are solid.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
The 49ers are solid. It's a solid defense.
Like I picked up Green Bay.
Man, against Pittsburgh, they don't know what the hell they're doing right now.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, to target Pittsburgh. Yeah, because they got Kenny Pickett, you know, who's going to be throwing some picks.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's a good one to target for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll be looking to see who's playing Pittsburgh because because even Najee Harris, you know, he's not the same Najee Harris as he's been in years past. You know, he really is not looking good this year. I'm not impressed. I think he's yet to score, you know, 20 points in any game. They've all been sub 20. So
I'd like to go look. I don't know if he scored 20 points all year.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so.
I've got one of my leagues. He's up on the bench, man. Like
I know, right? You wouldn't think.
Working, man.
Right. Yeah, we didn't draft him to sit on a bench, you know, so very disappointing for sure. All right. Well, that's about all I got today, Craig.
Cool.
Any other random players to target or
I mean, you know, the last one I got, Jimmy G, owned 11% of the leagues. Okay. You know, this week he went 253 for 2 tutties.
Yep.
You know, still scoring better than Aaron Rodgers. Still scoring better than some of those, you know, some of the other quarterbacks out there. So I feel like he's a decent one to go, you know, kind of put on your in a pinch.
Yeah.
Stream him in. He'll get you 18 to 25 points.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, we got bye weeks coming up. I think there's at least 2 teams on a bye, maybe 4. I forget exactly how many teams are on bye this week. But yeah, if your starter happens to be out, and he would do for a bye week fill in.
Yeah.
Week 6.
Get Moral.
I see that.
Get Moral.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, man, that's all I've got. It's always tough out there in the waiver wire, you know. And sometimes I feel like this is one of those weeks with Kenneth Walker.
Yeah,
he's Benjamin. You know, some of those where you can go in and grab some guys once people have gotten hurt. and really kind of recuperate your season a little bit.
Right. I agree. I think the no-brainer, number one waiver wire pick across all leagues is going to be Kenneth Walker III.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, that's the pick right there. And so I don't think I'm going to get him because I'm pretty far down the waiver wire order. So I don't think it's going to work out for me. And, like I talked about earlier, I lost some in my work league, due to a stupid insurance policy.
Honestly, he might be the only guy I would really spend a waiver wire pick on.
I agree. Yeah. I think I could probably scoop up Benjamin, as a leftover. I can grab him.
Yeah, he's a leftover. Mike Boone's a leftover. That De'Ami Brown's a leftover. Randall Cobb probably will still be there. Alec Pierce. Yeah. Hayden Hurst, Taysom Hill. Dude, I would let somebody else use that. If he's still sitting there, cool. If not,
Yep.
Geno Smith might be one. He might be one I'd use one. If I needed a quarterback, if I'm somebody that was rolling with Baker Mayfield, God love you if you were rolling with that dude. But if you just had somebody that's just not producing, somebody like that, Geno Smith's probably one I would use a waiver wire pick on. Otherwise, just those two.
Okay. No, I like it. Yeah. So I'm going to go hunting for Geno after we get off this podcast and see if he's out there in my Derek Carr league because, I'm done with him. Time to pull the plug.
Can't blame me.
Also, I've also got Matthew Stafford on the bench in that league, but he's just as terrible.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Ain't working there.
Nope.
Go Cowboys.
Yes, sir. Go Cowboys. All right, Craig. Well, thank you very much. Another great week of NFL action. And so we'll be watching the games Thursday, Sunday, and next Monday night.
Yes,
all
sir.
Right. Till next time.
All right, brother.
Okay. Thanks, brother.
All right. Thanks. See ya.
Bye-bye.